The Middle East has once again erupted into violence. Unfortunately, this week, an attack took place on the American embassy compound in Libya, the city of Benghazi. 4 American diplomats were killed, including the ambassador to Libya, Christopher Stevens. It was a very unfortunate situation. This marks the first time since 1979 that a sitting ambassador has been killed in the country in which he is serving. And it highlights once again the volatility of the entire region, but as well the impact of religion and what it can do to suddenly provoke a problem and a reaction, and again, even a larger war within this highly important area of the Middle East.
There's no doubt that religion had a major part to play in this whole incident, because that was the backdrop. Whether the leaders were actually convinced of that, but it was certainly used to provoke this whole incident. And it shows how easily people can be motivated by some of these kinds of things.
In this case, it was a video that was done that was purporting to cast the Prophet Muhammad in an unfavorable light. And yet likely this was planned because it also took place on the anniversary of 9/11, the attacks on Washington and New York City 11 years ago. But again, it brings up the point that the wars of religion. We did a program on Beyond Today a few years ago about the wars of religion. Religion is still a very potent force in world affairs and culture, and as much as some people in the West especially would like to think that religion, in a sense, does not play a significant role, things like this happen in the Middle East to remind us that religion does play a very important role.
It is a huge role, and it's a prophetic role that we can't ignore. Daniel 11 talks a lot about that. It talks about the coming times and how religion really will be a cornerstone to some of the issues that are going to be facing the world here shortly.
Yeah, Daniel 11 and verse 40 is a key verse in Bible prophecy that we are looking at to be fulfilled. It talks about the time of the end yet ahead of us, when the king of the south shall attack him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind. Now, what in general terms this prophecy is doing is describing a provocation, where it says the king of the north shall attack, the king of the south will attack. The king of the south is identified with a power coming out of the Middle East, and in whatever way it provokes a reaction against another power, here called the king of the north, to come and to invade into the region. And interestingly, as this prophecy goes on, of course this is verse 40, it goes on in verse 43 to mention even the very country Libya that we're talking about here.
It certainly does. And do you see these attitudes already there today? If you read through all of Daniel 11, you find these descriptors of people's attitude in their minds, where it talks about strife, where it talks about violence, where it talks about stirring things up. And boy, have we seen that this week. That's what's happening.
And we don't know yet what will happen additionally this week with other problems, but it just points up the fact to continue to be watching the Middle East, be aware of what is taking place, and understand how quickly events can unfold. Even small events can become very big. This is a very significant event. It's not something to take lightly.
That's BT Daily. We'll see you next time.